Welcome back. As the outcry of concerns about e-wallet fraud continues, FNB Namibia has expanded its efforts to further enhance customer knowledge and understanding of how fraudsters are manipulating a tightly secured environment to legally obtain access to their wallets and the funds that are contained in them. The bank took the opportunity to expand in more detail on the security measures present from the bank's side and what the responsibilities of customers are in terms of safeguarding their passwords, OTPs and PINs related to their banking accounts. Now joining us is Compliance Manager at FNB Namibia, Mr. Nesta de Jong. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening. It's quite an honor to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. Just to start with it, and let's get right into it. Talk to us about the most common type of, e-wallet scams that customers have encountered, and what are the key red flags?
Okay, no thanks. So the modus operandi of the e-wallet scam is basically the same for all of them, but the most prominent one now currently is whereby fraudsters link your e-wallet to an app, not yours specifically. They put in a random number and then you get a notification. So once you get that notification, the OTP, they call you and portray to be somebody calling from the bank or whatever they can come up with actually. So then they actually urge you to share the OTP with them. Once you do that, you have compromised your app, and through that they are actually able to withdraw funds from your e-wallet account. Yes.
How do these fraudsters, I think this is a question that everybody has, how do they get access to one's e-wallet?
To one's e-wallet. So actually the product in itself, how it's being set up actually is that OTP, one-time PIN, is being generated whenever you want to send money to a recipient. So the recipient gets an OTP. So once you receive that OTP at the end of the day, that's the security PIN at the end of the day. So that security PIN is when you use to withdraw the money. So what fraudsters actually do now is they convince you to share that OTP with them and able to access the money. But how they do it, they have become more than it and use social engineering. So they use an app, because what you can initially do is you can also register on the app in terms of self-registration. So what they do is they put in random numbers. If you are the victim of that number, they link you to that, you received an OTP directly to you and they convince you to share that, and that's how they get access to that wallet.
So 100% chance-taking system.
Yes.
Yeah. The bank also made known that about 600,000 Namibian dollars has been lost through about 780 transactions made via the bank's e-wallet services since August last year. Talk to us about the measures or latest security features that FNB has in place to protect customers from e-wallet fraud.
Okay, so one of that is, since the majority of the compromise happens from sharing your OTP. One of that is awareness that we're creating, what I'm currently creating now, and a lot of media awareness you've also noticed. Because the product in itself is very secure. Not even FNB staff will able to access that OTP because it's automatically generated. Only person, last line of defense, is a client. So if the client doesn't share that OTP, then the fraudsters won't be able to access or compromise your wallet at the end of the day. So firstly, we're creating a lot of awareness regarding that, because if the customer has that awareness, they'll be able to protect their wallet against this. Secondly, what we're also looking at behind the scenes is that we also partnered with Memple and MTC, to also then see how best we can also get hold of those fraudsters at the end of the day. And besides that, there's also other measures internally that I can assure the viewers that we are doing, but we can't divulge a lot of information regarding that because we are not sure who's listening to this conversation.
Yeah. As you mentioned, the bank security measures around, preventing e-wallet fraud is quite tight. But does the bank sort of benchmark, towards other banks to improve their security services as well?
We are actually, one thing that I appreciate about FNB is that we set the standard regarding that. We are a very mature bank, and not just from a regulatory perspective, we need to comply in terms of cyber security with international standards, but we also take value and pride in protecting our customers' money to ensure that it's safe and that the money is able to be protected against any financial crime that happens, So we don't sleep. The same way fraudsters are up there, coming up with all these modus operandi, we also ensure that continuously our system is very mature and robust against such crime.
Yeah. What is the bank's position and approach, with compensating customers who have fallen victim to e-wallet fraud, especially when there's a dispute in terms of liability?
Currently now, no, we don't do that, because just to use this analogy to you, if you, for example, give your house keys to a person that you don't know, and that person comes and breaks into your house, insurance company won't pay that out. Now that's the same that's actually happening here. All we are doing and the awareness that we're creating is telling our customers, don't share your OTP, because that's the only compromise. So but once you do expose your OTP and fraudsters are able to get access to your funds, then that compromise are actually being done by the customers. And up to today, we haven't gotten an instance that we have investigated whereby the compromise happened any other way through systems or processes. It's always the customer sharing it to a third party.
So on that note, what measures is your bank then taking to continually improve customer education, and awareness regarding e-wallet fraud risk and prevention?
Yes, I'm not sure if you have actively followed the social media pages, but we have gone out aggressively to create marketing, and we are also directly engaging our customers, because we'll directly send SMSs to them also to ensure that they do get that message to not share that OTP or PIN with anyone else, because that's your personal thing. That's the treasure that protects your account. If you compromise that, then fraudsters will be able to have access to your account. So we are doing a lot of that awareness and training, and even internally to us also as staff, and branches, we keep on creating that awareness and sharing that knowledge with staff in order to, whenever they engage a customer, tell them keep that confidential, and that the bank will never call you to ask you for your confidential information such as an OTP or a PIN.
As robust and tenacious as the bank is, and continue improving and developing steps to ensure the customers' safety against financial crimes concerning their accounts, equally, the fraudsters are also hard and busy at work in developing ways in which they can scam customers. So, what do you see the landscape of e-wallet fraud evolving to in the coming years? And of course, we want to know what steps you're taking to stay ahead of these emerging threats.
Actually now, statistically proven, we already saw a decline in the scams happening due to the awareness that have been created out there. And we appreciate the fact that customers are coming forth, and creating those awareness. So others are also learning from this at the end of the day. If you have to ask me, do I foresee this e-wallet fraud scam still happening by next year this time? I'll tell you confidently no. Because we will ensure that our controls is robust and effective to such a point that fraudsters won't be able to do this anymore. And we're exploring all avenues. Some I can't mention now as alluded to, but yet again, I give you that comfort and assurance that we are busy to ensure that this storm will settle down as soon as possible.
Mr. Dion, that's all the time we have, but thank you so much for joining us this evening, and I'm sure setting a lot of customers' minds at ease tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, and thanks to the viewers.
When we come back, we speak about